queens, and everything in between. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. This is going to be a special off the ropes where I get a little real with you. I get a little honest. All right. I flash this at your face, right? Flashing this. Okay. So real honest with you, right? Real honest with you, real quick. Okay. So I let time slip by me when I recorded this video, right? I was just like, you know what? I was gonna, like, my original plan was to get this video out early as possible, but guess what happened? I simply had no idea what the video was gonna be about until I started to sit, walk the dogs, got some food, and then I started watching some, I played the game with Lexi, and with Lexi, the Nerds Table, who you should subscribe to as well, if you're not already subscribed to her already. She's popping out videos and she's doing some cool reaction videos and cool stuff. So go check her out. But I started to watch YouTube videos. More recent YouTube not recent as in like they just came out, but I just started watching some YouTube videos, just going through some old old SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth, that one in particular. I watched Shut Your Mouth, and watching through one of my favorites, their exact season mode. And I was like, maybe, just maybe, I can get a few ideas on, but the thing is like maybe, just maybe, 2K can go back and watch these videos themselves and get a little few bit of inspiration on what the people exactly want when it comes to their career modes and their season modes and their MyRise mode that you've already produced. We want more. We want it fleshed out. We want it to be long. We want longevity, not just wrestling match after wrestling match after wrestling match after wrestling match. We want more cutscenes in there too. We want a fair balance of both. It's what we need in WWE 2K23's MyRise mode. And that's what this video is going to be about, as long as that intro was just to get to the single point of what this video was going to be about. We're going to do, that's what I'm going to do right now, is talk about MyRise 2K23 and my exact wish list of things that I would like to see in WWE 2K23's MyRise. Okay, so if we're going to be honest and be real with ourselves, MyRise this year was the most lie I have ever seen. The most lie that I ever seen. The most least done that I've seen. Like, we've been led astray and told a fib or three, right? Where I feel like, right, all the things that was promised to us was either given to us at a quarter of what they, of what they should have given us, or check this, wasn't given to us at all. You like that? You like being given a quarter or nothing? Because that sounds exactly like what just happened. We got a quarter or we got nothing. And like the game as a whole The only upside with this game is the graphics, which also could use a little bit of tweaking. Could use a little bit of tweaking, but not too much where it just looks like everything is slower, or everything looks kind of like, creepy. Like with certain models, could use some use an overhaul of how they actually look in real life, instead of just, well, based on my remembrance of seeing her, of seeing these characters' faces about 4 or 5 months or years ago. This is how I assume they're gonna look right now. I don't actually watch the TV, so it's kind of like they kind of halfway tried it, but it just it came out like. But back to it. What, like, the good thing about WWE 2K22 is, first of all, well, the CPU does has its issues of not cooperating with being, an AI, a smart AI. Don't have a smart AI for that, so it's kind of like, that's tragic. Sucks. It really does. But when it comes to gameplay and the control layout and how smooth most of the moves are when hitting them, or when counters and dodges and blocks just it feels great. Like, I like that aspect. The gameplay of it is what makes it, is what made it so playable. Y'all changed out the layout and it just works. It really works well. And it's fun to watch two AIs go at it. It's fun to watch two AIs go at it when it's just an action-filled back and forth type of match where they counter each other each and every time, and it's so fun to do. But then here's the issue with that. Here's the initial issue, is that all we have is gameplay. Not so much more in depth, and that's with the MyRise. MyRise should have been your basically where you put all your eggs into this basket. Y'all should have made MyRise into the most interactable, most breathtaking, dynamic, most the most replayable experience that y'all have ever had. Now, I think I've discussed this many times before, and the game and 2K23 is scheduled to come out, is what I believe, what the rumor has been so far, because I don't have like a set date, so I'm basing it off of rumors that I've heard. So based on the rumors, it seems as though it's supposed to be coming out sometime in March. I've done this video before about what I would like in 2K23, but I'm going to reiterate what I want in MyRise. I want replayability in MyRise, because I feel like everything that y'all have given us with the multiple branching backgrounds, you haven't given us a branching storyline to follow up with those backgrounds. All you did was give us backgrounds that you can change, but nothing that actually adds or subtracts from the actual story. We're getting the same linear, boring, god-awful stories, the same ones all the time, where the birthday girl would like someone to hit her in the head with, hit her enemy in the head with a kendo stick. That's her birthday wish. And I'm just like, y'all make fans sound so delusional, but respectfully, they do. So so accurate on that description, but it's so hard, right? It's so hard for me to want to play the game, want to actually do any of the what I want to say, side missions, because they're all pretty much the same thing, that boost up stats that have nothing to do with the character that you're trying to invest in, you're trying to build. And I feel like they dropped the ball because the backgrounds could have associated me with, let's say, let me do a scenario for like if MyRise actually worked the way that they promised. So I come in with a background of a pro athlete, right? I come in from a background of pro athlete. My intro to getting into Performance Center may be the same, but my interactions with other people, it's not going to be the same thing. I'm not going to talk to Paragon J. Pierce. I'm not going to talk to Pierce. Guess what? I'm going to talk to insert creative person here that has a pro athlete background, maybe a rival of mine, maybe a future rival of mine, like my version of Baron Blade. I would have liked that instead of going up against Paragon every single time I create a character, or going up against Josie Jane every time I create a single character. Every brand new character is always the same. It's always the same scenario, the same story, the same exact thing, where WCW is coming back from the grave. And I'm like, why are we doing this in the story, from the story that I was with my super heavyweight with the pro athlete background, and then my indie star with the, and then my cruiserweight with the indie background? Why are we both on the same path of reviving WCW on Monday Night Raw? Why? Oh, because we ran out of ideas. Is what it seemed like. We ran out of ideas, and we gave and you were given like a couple of years to perfect this game, to make this game stick. And y'all decided to like stick it to us by giving us basically what you've been giving us every single year ever since 2K has taken over, the blueprint of what's to come. I hate that quote. Absolutely. I hate it when it comes to a lot of games. But with the wrestling game, with the WWE games, it's the most inexcusable piece of crap of an excuse that I've ever heard in my life. It's just like y'all are trying to give yourself a free pass and a pat on the back for doing somewhat of a good job, when in fact you should have had like this laid out plan to have an excellent game. Like I said, your gameplay is perfect, your visuals are perfect, everything, your gameplay is nice, your visuals are nice, everything is working smoothly towards what it could be. But then you screw up by giving us the least I given 2 years to do it. And it's kind of like I may not know about the ins and outs of creating a video game, right? But when you give yourself a window, like you give yourself a brief period to work on a game, right? You give yourself 2 years to strike gold, and you only give us copper. And you say, that's good enough. And then the reviewers are giving it solid points because it's playable and it was better than 2K20. Anything is better than 2K20. We're being realistic here. From 2K20 to this is a vast improvement. Mind you, it is, but MyRise is garbage. Garbage. Like I was even considering playing MyRise and trying to see if there was a difference in story from my first time beating it, and then creating somebody else and then beating it a second time. And then I started to figure out right from the beginning, right from the first two initial missions, that, you know, like from the first initial signing to Raw, my first placement is going to be on Raw. I'm going to have to face Sasha Banks and replace her. Fight Josie Zane to get in to fight Sasha Banks. Yeah, I do the female MyRise because it's the most anticipated and most waited for addition to the game when you added females to the storyline since SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. That was a long time ago. Was it 2011 or 2010? Correct me. It was 2000. It was in 2011 or 2010 where we could play as the Divas and go on, right? Okay, so even with that, right? Even with everything that's going right, Sasha Banks, you're fighting Sasha Banks again, and I beat her again, and then that's when my actual story mode will actually act up, and then I'm looking at it and I'm like, I am following the same path as my indie star, Silver Storm, and my actress, I forgot her name. I forgot my actress, single player. Oh, Pauline. Right? Same path, different backgrounds. Why even have a different background if we're going to have the same path? What actually initially happens? Like y'all basically threw out another incomplete game. But it's not so much the fact that it's unplayable. It's that there's no reason to play it. It stops after a while. You can put as many cards as you want into my faction, which is another waste of space and time and valuable assets towards, I don't know, making alternate attires for people, so then you can actually put them in the game and not just make the alternate attires into previous versions of themselves. That just looks so wasteful. It's wasteful and distasteful, and it looks like y'all are just lazy and about. But again, I don't know anything about making video games, but this is not something that people want, is repeated versions of the same person. Nobody wants to, like, for the most part, nobody's playing as all 97 versions of Rey Mysterio right now. I know for a fact, not everybody's playing against all of the Rey Mysterios. Nobody's adding all the Rey Mysterios into their universe mode, which again needs a lot of help and needs a lot of work. Nobody's doing that. But going back to the subject at hand, MyRise needs branching storylines that actually coincides with the background that you chose. Your background, your wrestling style, and who you associate with are the key things that should be the most important things in MyRise. And speaking of building relationships, that's something that was promised but wasn't given. It was not given to us, not even in the slightest. Not even in the slightest was it given to us. We were answering tests for a storyline that was already predetermined that we're not going to last in this. This situation or faction at all. Turning heel and face, there's not so much a significance of doing anything because it's still in the same vein as the previous storyline that you've already beaten. So there's no point in beating it multiple times with multiple backgrounds, because if that was the case, guess what? This video would not be made at all. This video wouldn't be made. It would be like I will be having. I will be on. I will be on. I will be streaming. Right. I will be streaming WWE 2K22. MyRise, the actor. MyRise, the actress. MyRise, the pro athlete. MyRise, the MMA fighter. MyRise, the indie star. It would have been those things, but no, we didn't get that. We what we got is the same storyline for the same backgrounds, no matter what background you pick. And spoilers, sorry, but that's just how the cookie crumbled for this entire game. Because guess what? I'm still caught up. Like I'm doing the men's storyline right now, right? I was doing MyRise for the men after going through the performance center and going all the way through it, beating it all the way through with a face. Beating all the way through with the face, I decided, yo, I'm gonna beat it all the way with the heel. Cool. Problem is that no matter what decisions you make, you are pretty much going to be called up by Buddy Murphy to say, hey, do this for Seth Rollins. And I'm like, they didn't really try on this, did you? They just kind of copied and paste every single background to have the same exact story. And I'm like, this is laziness. Add it simple and fine. Something fine and clean. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be a bunch of defenders of the game saying that, well, you're not enjoying the game. Trust me. I'm enjoying the game for the gameplay. Universe mode may be needing in some help in certain departments and areas. It needs some additions as well as some unnecessary, and some bug fixes. As though like tag team finishers, we can only put on like 4 on the team and then it just stops working. Problem with that, fix it. But like I said, with gameplay and everything else, it just makes it much more exciting. Creating the community creations is okay, but I don't use it personally. I don't use community creations personally because I rather create something original than try to like, this is just me personally. I rather create somebody original that is based off of or is an homage to that real life person than actually making a real life, bringing a real life person from somebody else's creation and using it in my, using it in the game. I rather them just like, if they were in the game, I will probably use them. Probably, I don't know, but for the most part, it just feels like MyRise, like everything, like on paper, it just feels like on the surface level, looks good, feels good to play, but how long can you play it? Like in a single, like kind of like a singular, continuous play. How long can you do it? And well, I'm gonna say for the sake of time, not very long. It's not deep. It's not an in-depth type of storyline. There's no real there's no rhyme or reason. There's no, like, you can't lose matches, which is something. Hey, I'm gonna let you in on something that will probably blow your mind, and I hoping that you already applied this into 2K23 because I am going to buy that game. Of course, I'm going to see what was done. What did you improve on? What did you take away? Where is it? But I'm gonna help you out. Real quick. Maybe allow us to lose the match. and just move on with the stories. Yeah, like us losing changes our route, and the outcome of the matches actually changes what happens around us, our environment, our placement in the title, in a title picture, our placement within the company as a whole, our standing with the crowd actually make things matter. When I lose the match, when I win the match, if I'm on a winning streak, if I'm on a losing streak, make these things matter. It would help. It will be beneficial. It'll be so helpful. It'll be so much. It'll be so engaging. It'll feel like there's something worth fighting for. And then, like, you can have like an entire year. This could be like, it could start off after WrestleMania, right? Like the old school games, right? Start off after WrestleMania. Get my feet wet in the capacity on the main route. So like this, right? You got the Performance Center. Make the Performance Center like your hub, right? Your hub to go in, train up for grapples, strikes, submission holds, and top rope maneuver. Train your wrestler in the way that you want them to be trained. Not trying to be like the whole package, super hybrid, super character. Like everybody be creating like their super character, 99 stat, 99 overall. It's not necessary to do that. It's not necessary to do that. And then you have this OP character running around in MyRise just whooping people up. But the thing is, just have a training, like make the PC actually the PC. Like an actual performance center where you perform, like you can even have yourself a mentor, right? You can have yourself a mentor or a best friend, like you can have yourself someone that you can base your moveset off of. Like complete, like you can be like, hey, if you win matches with, let's say Xavier Woods, right? Xavier Woods be your tag team partner, right? Even though the New Day are like officially a thing, but in this one, anything can happen, right? So Xavier Woods, your tag team partner, you win 5 matches in a row with him. And he says, all right, I'm about to show you how to do my finisher. You unlock that finisher, and you can be able to use it anytime you want. Make your character as vanilla as possible. But I did not like the loot boxes, which I'm glad that y'all took out. Loot boxes are not really necessary, not really here and there. No. Just make me work towards unlocking unlocking every move, certain moves that I want from certain people that use it. Let me do a good example. If I went through a women's MyRise, right? And I win with or against Asuka a set number of times, she's going to show me how to do the Asuka her Asuka combo. Her combo. Cool. I was like, great. Now I have a signature move that I can apply, or just a regular move that I can apply to my move set that was already preset. And then she was like, all right, now I'm about to teach you the Asuka lock. After you beating her at a pay-per-view, that could be like a stipulation to getting her finisher. Beat her at a pay-per-view, unlock her finisher. Boom. It can make it much longer. It can make the game much longer. And there's like you don't have to get every single character's finisher in MyRise. You don't have to. You're creating like the way that I see it, you're creating your wrestler based on how you want them to be. You don't want them to be the jack of all trades. And I believe what you should do is make sure the game limits limits you, because everybody else have limiters on them. Why shouldn't you, right? So like have a set limit of how many moves you can unlock based on your fighting style, based on your style. If you are an MMA striker, it's all set to strikers, and those are the only people that you can interact with. There you go. Those are the only ones that can teach you things. Are strikers. If you are a grappler, deal with technical mat based grapplers, right? There's pressure. Equal people. But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying when I what I'm trying to put down. You picking up what I'm putting down, right? Because I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. Because this is like something that I thought of. And oh yes, as you are training with them, you build a relationship with them, possibly go after championship titles. If you lose, then that means that then it could affect your relationship with them in a way, depending on how strong your relationship is outside and inside the ring. Like outside the ring, you could have different conversations with different people, and that could determine, right? That could determine basically whether or not they want to stay by your side or they just leave you high and dry and become your next rival. But this is just me. I've been rambling on about this, about MyRise, because I want it to work. I want it to be as excellent and as fantastic as it could be. And I want it to be one of those modes that will just keep me coming back. And it's like, well, I want to see if what will happen if I go down this route. Or I want to see what will happen if I go down this route. And I know a lot of people are going to complain, oh, but it's the grind sounds too much. It's like, but there's the stories that are within it. The grind is just a part of, it's just initially a part of it. You don't have to grind for every single move out there. Again, you're basing your character off of what you want. Not what you like, not what you necessarily, not what's needed. These are optional things to train with different people. And once you got yourself set, you can continuously go through the MyRise like universe mode, kind of like an endless journey, but there's always something happening. Always something going on. And that's more, that's the most important thing about that. Is that something is always clicking, something is always happening, something always going on. And whether it's like the simplest thing, like someone attacks you backstage, to challenging Triple H at WrestleMania. Some big things like that are much more possible that I would love to happen in MyRise. MyRise 2K23 MyRise, I hope is going to be like a banger of a banger that will allow me more freedom than what was given to me in this iteration and the last. Just a lot more freedom, a lot more branching storylines, a lot more ability to create my wrestler based on how I believe my wrestler will be. And that even includes what they say and do. Like, give me the options to attack someone after the match. Give me the option of just walking out after the match. Give me the option of shaking their hand after the match. Give me that option, not just in MyRise, but in universe mode and exhibitions, give me those options. Just like in, like I said, just like in Shut Your Mouth. That is where I'm getting that idea from, because they give you the option. Yo, you can attack them. Like, they don't actually say it. Like, if you hit a certain button, like square is to attack, circle is to just leave, and X is to respect them. And depending on, you can have those different type of interactions with people, probably build a relationship, build a rivalries based off of that. Random things happen. But let me cut it off right now, because I've been going on and on and on and on and on and on about this. And it's just something I'm really, really looking forward to. I'm hoping that this is something that, if not added now, then sometimes in the patch, or like they can patch it up and just make MyRise one of the, the best MyRise experiences that has ever been made. Like, better than any My Career of the past, better than Road to WrestleMania. Which, by the way, walking backstage and interacting with people is a lot better than point and click. But with that said, I was about to turn it off, but I was like, I gotta give y'all a goodbye. I will be posting another video on what I believe should be in 2K23 the next Friday. But this will be posted up on Saturday, around Saturday afternoon. I will have this uploaded, and hopefully, by that time, I will be on some. I will be streaming some MK11, playing with a fellow streamer and YouTuber by the name of Cat Cakes. Hopefully, we get on and we get on the fisticuffs, and hopefully, hope to see y'all there. Kings and queens and everything in between. This has been, dude, just giving my personal opinion and personal beliefs on what I believe will make WWE 2K23 a much better game than what it is. Way better than what it is. Like, gameplay wise, solid. Everything else. But with that said, this dude. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed me ranting and sweating, because, yeah, it's kind of hot in here. But I will see y'all next time. And y'all stay safe. And hopefully y'all have a happy, wonderful new year. And I will see y'all next year. Peace.